Dan Olds here. We're at the 2021 Asia Student Cluster Competition. Well, I'm not there. I kind of wish I was. But we're talking with Dr. Wang from the host university, which is the Southern University of Science and Technology. How are you today?
Very good.
So tell us about your university. I mean, it's only 10 years old, and yet you've become one of the leading institutions in China, at least as far as I know.
Yeah, you're right. The university, we call ourselves SUSTech, was established in 2011 by the provincial government of Guangdong. At the time was a aim to develop a new kind of a higher education system. Sometimes we call ourselves test bed for higher education reform. And now it is becoming a top-notch international research university. That was a initial aim as well. It is located, it has the advantage, right? Located in the rapidly developing, growing tech capital, as you know.
Yes.
Shenzhen.
It's like the Silicon Valley, or becoming the
Exactly.
Silicon Valley of China.
Exactly. The city is known first.
Yes.
As one of the 4 top city in economy, GDP.
Yes.
And the city is interesting, as you know, 40 years old.
Yes, that's true too. Very young.
It was like nothing here, and then
boom.
At the time was Deng Xiaoping realized how important to build the economy. So he said we designate this place as a special economic zone. And so then the city was just built like from the ground 40 years ago. And now
very fast.
Right. So the university, I think, took advantage of that. We are closer to Hong Kong.
That's
really next to Hong Kong. So we really,
and Hong Kong is a tech capital of their own, or at least they used to be.
Exactly, it still is. I mean,
yeah,
in certain sense, financial.
Oh yes, very much a financial capital.
Yeah, right.
So how is your
because very generous support from investors from the provincial government and from Shenzhen, obviously. We got a lot of funding. And Shenzhen, as you might imagine, is a young city.
Yes.
Doesn't really have a lot of good university. We have a Shenzhen University. It was built like about 40 years ago. It's a very good university. But for a city as big as Shenzhen, you really need a lot of good university, right? Like Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, Wuhan, they have a lot of good university. We're talking a lot of means out of 50, 100, right? Good universities.
Oh,
Shenzhen doesn't have too, at the time, 10 years ago, Shenzhen University was probably the only known one. And then, so SUSTech came into the picture. Want to build a research university. So at the time, we're talking about modeling like Hong Kong University of Science Technology, or sometimes we talk about Stanford model. So that's how the university was kind of established. And I guess with the university grow, and you said why it's growing so fast, becoming one of the top. My view is that it's possible by one, attracting the best faculty. Second, attracting the best student. So let me speak a little bit about both, right?
Yes.
The best faculty, I think, this is the university president, both the first president and the second president, who I'm most familiar with, Dr. Xi Chen. So we have a kind of interesting system. We have the PI system. So each faculty, is a PI, has his own research, his and her own research group. If you come here, you see even junior faculty. He or she has a large research group, just like what I see in the U.S. I've been in the U.S. system for 25 years.
Yes.
So this really attract the best of young talents to here. At the same time, senior faculty were also attracted. The university gave a good title like chair professorship. Of course,
Okay.
the city gave a startup, a good startup for both junior and senior. So we attract probably the best faculty. If you're talking about the quality of faculty, no question, it is one of the best in China. And quality of faculty translate to quality of research and so on.
And I can see what would attract them, being able to have their own research groups and having you aggressively pursue being a premier research university. I can see where that'd be pretty attractive to someone in the prime of their career.
Yes, definitely. And we, some of us like doing really well. Young faculty doing very well. They, they very productive. I mean, they have a bigger research group. I mean, it's bigger than what I usually see, what I see like US and other places. And partly because, the available startup, available funding, and the facility, the research infrastructure facility also is very good. We have, our Center for Computational Science and Engineering is one of the public research supporting research platforms. One of the four. We have some other really nice instrumentation facility, microscope facility, animal facilities. All these are provided, so people can do research, do topic research, whatever they would like to do. They have the infrastructure support, resources.
And so, what are you doing to attract the best students?
That's a very, very good question. At the very beginning, we have, in China, every student, when they go to college, they have to pass a national standard exam.
Sure.
And that's a very, very challenging exam. But we took that as only a part of our, student admission consideration. We have our own admission system, which combine this national exam score with our own testing and interview. So at the SUSTech, when I first joined SUSTech in first year, 2018, actually every year I participate in this recruitment event for undergraduate students. So this is like for some of us, it's a year-long event. We tell people how special our university is, and they have to register. So the system we call 631 system. So meaning 60% based on the national exam, 30% based on our own testing. We give our own testing.
Sure.
Interview our faculty. Certain time of the year, I know in this year in July, early July, after the national exam, all faculty went out to different places, different provinces, different states,
wow.
like in the US. And we basically interview after some initial selection. Of course, the student have to pass some initial selection. We sitting there and talk to each individual student. I believe like something like 5 minutes or so.
Wow.
Ask them questions and
But every single student that applies. Wow.
Right. So that's 30%. Our own testing, interview 30%, and the rest 10% based on the high school grades, high school performance. So we have a 631 system. In fact, I believe now other universities kind of copy some of our ideas. They also have They used to be more very uniform, like just single single exam score. But now I think, but we have been doing this all along. As you know, it's still challenging. And at the
Oh, sure.
beginning, we're new university, right? People don't kind of think it's, so we have to really convince students, convince parents. Both are challenging.
Oh, yeah.
Like at the very beginning, you don't have the name recognitions as other university, older university have. So we have to show them what we have special. Tell them, students, you can participate in research as undergrad student.
That's a big deal.
You have a lot of attention from our faculty because we have relatively small student size.
That's a big deal too.
Lots of international connection. If you want to study abroad, you have a lot more opportunity. We can write strong recommendations for you. So all these kind of attracting, and the quality of students, improving over the year. We really getting now some of the best students.
Some real momentum then, huh?
So some students give up a Tsinghua Peking University, come to SUSTech.
Tsinghua, who's that? I've never heard of them.
Tsinghua, who's that? You know that, right?
Or Peking University, never heard of them.
Exactly.
Well, now you have to have your team win a cluster competition to compete.
I hope so.
With Tsinghua. Yeah. That would be great. I know that I was impressed with the team I met in 2019.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
They did well. So when you talk about students, out of 100 students applying for your university, how many actually get in?
Yes, good question. We only admit undergraduate in the last few years, around 1,000 students, maybe 1,100 students. So not a big size. By size, so we are, as you can see, very selective.
Yes.
I went to some of these recruitment events. Usually even at the interview stage, we something like 20, sometimes even 50 to 1. We 50 students, and out of 50 we got one. Like let's say in Guizhou province, we would get 20 students, something like that. 20, I forgot, 20 or 25. But we interview, few hundreds, 500-600, or even more 800s. So it's a very selective process. We only admit the whole university about 1,100 undergraduate students a year. This number may increase a little bit as we are building a new school called medicine.
Okay.
Medicine. We have a medical clinic major now. We may, increase the number a little bit, but not much. Because we call ourselves research university, so we control the size of an undergraduate.
It's really important to keep that faculty to student ratio as low as you can. Yeah.
The student faculty ratio is very low. We have a lot of faculty compared to students.
And to not have, I know one of the things I didn't like was having graduate students teach.
The number of graduate students is more now. The number of graduate students is more than number of undergraduate students.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's for sure. Yeah, I think that happened a year or two ago already.
Okay.
As the university further developed, I would say at one point our previous president told me the size, his target was like 4,000 undergraduate students, 6,000 graduate students.
That gives the university a very different environment and feel to it. I went to University of Chicago for graduate school, and that was many more graduate students than undergraduate students, and it just had a much more serious and scholarly feel than a school that has that ratio reversed.
Right.
And that's a very good thing for the kind of university you're trying to build.
Yes, yes.
Yes, and I wish I was there to see it. I haven't been there before. I haven't been to Shenzhen.
We have a very good campus. You know, if you're here,
Yeah,
it's a pretty campus with a lot of lychee trees.
I've seen some pictures of it. It looks great.
Another month or so, then the lychee, you can pick up a lychee, and the tree become red because of these fruits.
Beautiful.
So we have a lot of we have 9 kiosks on campus.
Okay.
It's a little warm outside at the moment. We have like walking paths on the hills, lychee, you're passing through the lychee tree. So it's interesting.
It sounds great.
Landscape, very interesting.
Well, if I get there, I'm going to come to you personally for a tour.
When you come to China, make sure you contact us.
I will.
And then I'll make sure that I give you a tour. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you for your time. It was great learning more about your university. I really appreciate it.
Yes. Yeah.
And we will talk to you again soon. And I'll see you next time I'm in China.
Okay. Wonderful.
Thank you.